I am really worried, folks, that our supercar world is in serious trouble. Welcome back to the show, all you supercar fans out there. I am your host, VIP Primo. You can use that little logo thing at the bottom there to search me up anywhere you'd like to go. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, but I want to get right into this. The reason I made this channel is because I think our supercar world is in trouble. I know you're looking at the numbers, especially for the last few years, and thinking that can't be true. But to get where we are, it took a pandemic and the looming horizon that the cars you love will be gone by next year. And I'm not kidding either. If you haven't noticed, every supercar company is literally mothballing what they supposedly hold dear in just under a year. The uptick wasn't because people are buying cars. They're not buying them to drive. They're buying them to collect. And it's because they're seeing the writing on the wall. So where did we come from? Prior to around 1997, the supercar world was at an impasse. People used to say supercars don't advertise on television because that's not where their buyers are. No, it's because they couldn't afford to. And don't believe me? Well, now that they're profitable, they put videos on YouTube and TikTok, and I'm not really sure how those 16-year-old people are going to be buying any cars in the near future. But whatever gets the word out, right? And yes, a lot of what I'm about to say is my take on things. But I've been doing this long enough, and I'm kind of tired of the butt kissing and the yes men for so long that I think it's this take you will appreciate. See, supercars were good for two things: creating bad collections and going bankrupt. It didn't start out that way, though. They used to mean something different. And I know everyone will think the answer is power and speed, and in some cases that is true. But the majority of what they represented was something completely different. Think of supercars as fine wine, a perfect cigar, comfortable clothes, a drive through a beautiful mountain pass on the way to the perfect picnic with the woman you've always dreamed about who is madly in love with you. And it's just at that right time of year and the temperature is perfect. It's a pinnacle of experience. See, you don't drive a supercar. Supercars drive you. It doesn't apologize. It doesn't hold back. It doesn't cut corners. It makes your heart pump and cause you to question your existence. It makes you look back when you finally have to leave and say, I'll see you again soon. I started off like many of you, Lamborghini versus Ferrari guy. My trapper keeper had a Countach, but that all changed the day I drove a Bentley and then followed quickly by a Rolls. And that experience was so unique to each vehicle. It woke me up to why I was doing what I was doing. The difference between that young kid, the gentleman I realized I wanted to be, it was like getting drafted into a family, and that was it. You can't ever go back. You found the formula. The word refined is integral to this thinking and to this equation. For all you designers out there that are building cars with more and more horsepower and all the trending AI and technology and 3D printing, well, if you can't sell an experience, then, just pack it up because you're missing the point. Unlike your 20 friends that will tell you how awesome it is, I'm not going to lie to you. It looks great, but if it's art, hang it on a wall. Buying a car that's just a number keeps you chasing that dream, and you're never going to feel good enough. Someone's always going to be faster. Somebody's always going to be more powerful. But a car that's an experience is going to be unique unto itself, and nobody's going to be able to compete with that. So for you bad designers out there, I just saved you $1 billion. You're welcome. But for you designers that are designing cars that say, get out here in this garage and drive me, you're building the right thing. And therein lies the issue. When Lamborghini was purchased by Chrysler, it stopped being an experience and started being a bottom line. It started being these cars are worth a lot, and bean counters got involved. We could make a lot of money, right? And that's what changed the environment. And the worst part is it's not true. I know it's easy to think the purpose of a super expensive car is to make money, but remember that Ferruccio Lamborghini literally built a car because the experience in the Ferrari he perceived wasn't up to snuff. The truth was, Ferrari had a different pinnacle than Ferruccio, but therein lies the two experiences, and that competition forced them to see things differently. While these guys were trying to fix a problem for their future owners, Chrysler was asking, how do we sell more cars any way possible? And I'm sorry, but those two equations, they don't add up. In fact, bottom line and experience, they cancel each other out. I mean, did you marry your wife because she had all the right options or because you were in love? As time went on, somehow we got wrapped up in horsepower numbers, options lists, and all that other stuff, and we missed the reason why we drive the cars. We got caught up in the marketing, and we forgot why we have what we have. Why would anyone love a car that doesn't have a cup holder? It breaks down on a regular basis, are expensive to repair, and sometimes they're just cumbersome to keep clean because there's nothing like them in the world. And if we're going to have that pinnacle experience, it's going to take some investment and, frankly, a little bit of love. Bringing it forward now to the late 1990s, and we finally started seeing drivers that were driving their cars. So brands like Volkswagen, Audi, BMW, they wanted to throw their hats in the ring by buying up some of these major brands that were struggling. Brands that weren't thinking about the concept of a pinnacle experience, but what they could get out of sales. When they started selling franchises out, they picked dealers that sold Hondas. And sorry, but there's nothing in the experience when it comes to a Honda sale. It became a fight for the bottom line in an industry that literally didn't even think about price. When things didn't work out and cars didn't sell, everybody started asking why. It was like trying to choose a fight by saying, let's go up the hill, add some molasses, freeze it. Why aren't we making any progress up this hill? The reason is because passion drives a supercar purchase, not practicality. Let's be honest. Running a supercar dealership, it isn't easy. They lose money in general, and the upkeep can be a pain. The people don't have the passion because they want prestige, or it's not about pushing out cars or killer advertising. It's about relationships. Pagani literally owes everything it has to one investor named Benny Cialo, and Pagani returned that favor by building a car in his name. Lamborghini loved its test driver so much that it created the Balboni Gallardo. And still, I constantly see dealerships with that wham bam, thank you ma'am approach to sales. I see them fire top performers in a month because they can't sell a ton of cars. And the best and brightest who move on to private firms or smaller organizations that appreciate the passion that they bring to the table and see them flourish. And then the big chains ask, what happened to that guy? I'll tell you what I miss about not being in the car dealership world. It's never been about the cars or the numbers. I've driven close to 200 miles per hour, and sure, it's fun, but to be honest, it's fleeting. There's always a higher top speed. There's always that next car. But for me, it was the people. The community is something completely different. And once you are adopted into that community, it never, ever goes away. Still, I see young guns that don't get that community thinking or that passion. They think they'll impress people. And once you reach this pinnacle, there really isn't anywhere else to go. It's funny because you buy a supercar and think everything is going to change. And in reality, nothing changes except you lose a couple of jealous friends. And the people you now hang out with aren't impressed because they've been through it too. And they just appreciate your company. I have faith that they'll get through it and that they'll understand that all we want is just them to be themselves. And that's good enough. Sure, you can buy any car out there, but nothing will compare to the car, the community, the experience that a supercar can offer. Nothing compares to sitting down and building a car, driving on a track day, or simply heading out to the countryside to experience a picnic among the hills, or headed out to that perfect restaurant with the woman that you love. So it really doesn't matter if your favorite car is a supercar, a super SUV, or that Uber luxury sedan you've always wanted, as long as it puts you in a place you didn't know existed before that moment. A new pinnacle of your existence, and you share it with the world. It's why I like turning on that Lamborghini TikTok, because it doesn't sell cars. It sells dreams and vision. Today, we gain 2.5 new millionaires a year. And if we're going to survive, We need them to be interested in supercars. Every day I see cars that involve less and less of an experience and more of a boxy, self-driving, electric, numb, one-trick pony that's about as unique as a fart in the wind. And if that happens, we will forget why we coveted these cars so much in the first place. And when they dry up and blow away, we'll finally really understand why we love them so much and they made us better. What I hope you will do is I hope you'll learn to fight for these cars and fight for these concepts, these dreams, these visions. I hope that what these cars that were on covers of magazines that drove you to search so far and work so hard to be the best you could possibly be, to have this pinnacle of engineering and put yourself in a place that so few people have been, that somehow you'll pay that forward and say, you know what? I really think we should fight a little bit harder for what we have. And so what we're going to do down the road is we're going to talk to you about what those things are, how to fight better, how to really show off our cars, and how to share them with the world. And if we can do that, I think we're going to make it to that next level, and maybe we'll be able to save our cars past 2025. Thanks for viewing, and do I think our supercar world can be saved? Absolutely. I think we can fight more than we know, but that's really for another discussion. And I hope you'll like and subscribe so you don't miss these ideas. I hope you'll check out our community tab for our motivational posts, awesome surveys, and if you want to support our channel, head over to the website product section and pick up a shirt or pick up a sticker or pick up anything that we're going to be listing in the near future. But until then, I hope you're going to enjoy those supercars. I hope you're going to get out there and drive when you can. Share this world with everybody who will listen and understand exactly why this is a different world than so many people really understand. And let's not have it be a well-kept secret anymore. But until next time, keep on rolling.